trying to accomplish. Focusing on this.
Meow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
No, we only wanted to get it set up before.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I do, however, I need to. When I tell you, this has been the longest couple of days of my life.
Hey, round two. Hey, we're gonna do something on the internet again. We got the same goodest group of people. We got Skylar on the ones and twos, setting it up, making a very cool camera. Probably get a picture of it in post, hopefully. We got Monica Saucedo over here, minus one tooth, but added extra flavor to our conversations.
Extra cheek.
Yeah.
Tongue in cheek.
We got the one, the only, the voice with the moist. It is very Darius Culpepper right here. They're giving us that mukbang right off the bat with his protein bites.
It's protein.
Very much.
And I am Corey Hogger. I will be here just smoking weed, trying to make sense of anything. We'll see if we can add some content to the inner streams.
You know what, Corey? You hear all these people talking about mental health, but you rarely hear people talking about dental health. Monica, can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, perfect segue.
So I'm very passionate about this today. Also, don't mind me, I still can't feel one side of my mouth.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's a whole tooth missing. No, but I did kind of want to talk about this because, like, I'm coming in hot, guys. So it's going to be coming from a really passionate, like, recent, like, place. But it is something that has bothered me for a while. And that can kind of, like, mull into the next, like, thing that I put on the list as well. Because it's kind of it's essentially just, for me, it falls under the umbrella that the systems that are put in place that are meant to help us or meant to make us a functioning society, they don't fucking work. Like, they don't work. It was crazy because the amount of people I had to call this morning and the way people will talk to me because I needed to make payments, like, and it just, they make things so difficult, like, so difficult.
There's so many departments and none of them are capable of helping you, and they don't know how to contact anybody who can, and they're sorry. But can they help you with anything else?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Most of them, I didn't even get, like, I think the people that couldn't help me but seemed pleasant. Because truthfully, like, that's their job. Most of them are probably just receptionists who really actually don't know, like, you know, where to send me. The thing that, like, kind of irked me the most was when I called this one place and he spoke to me in a very condescending manner and was like, oh, well, what you're gonna need is an oral surgeon. And I'm like, bitch, why would I know that? Like, I need a dentist.
Yeah.
The whole side, I was like, the whole side of my face is swollen.
Yeah.
I know this
Whoever
bitch needs
can
to be
help
cool.
with this,
Yeah.
can you point me there?
Exactly. And the fact that it had to get that bad is just kind of like the fact that it's like luxury bones. It's always considered. If I start drooling too, guys, just don't.
It's just an extra luxury.
Right. I should have. Right. I should have kept my my bib.
Skylar, you on napkin duty.
He's all just dabbing me.
We all got
As long as I'm on napkin duty, you have like a little red.
No, you actually do.
Yeah.
You actually do. I don't know how you managed to get your protein bites all the way up there, but you did.
Brain food.
Brain food?
Trying to feed them all.
Oh my god. Anyways, no, but it's like the fact that it had to get to that point for me to even be pushed to go see someone. Like, this tooth has been bothering me for a while, but it's something you always put on the back burner because, like, we're convinced, like, our dental, like, our oral thing, like, hygiene and stuff and going to the dentist, it's always, like, elective surgeries and elective, like, you know, work getting done.
Right.
And the average American doesn't have, like, dental insurance. Like, do you have dental insurance?
Yeah.
Do you really? Or are you just saying?
Yeah.
Corey, you probably do, but because military,
I think so,
right?
only just because I had to go through all of the government facilities in the VA.
And even just tell us about that, because that's something else too, if you want to like touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah, throw the government under the bus.
Sure.
Well, like the
Please.
amount of time and the process in which it takes, it's like I could have died from a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
It's not very efficient. None of the systems that we have in place are very efficient. There is a lot of different departments, but again, as a regular person who's under dire situations, like we can all assume anyone who's walking into a hospital is not having a great day. But yet they have to do it procedurally to block out, like, and so like they can go against, like, oh, we didn't do any extra harm. Like, well, you didn't do anything because you couldn't figure out how to do anything, and that's also not okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're at a time where we have enough, so we have the resources. It's more a way of allowing people to communicate effectively and efficiently.
Well, and it's also, I just think it's ridiculous because I did try to get health insurance, because this goes the same for my health. Like, those one and the same. Like, health insurance. Like, I don't even remember the last time I seen a doctor. And quite frankly, like, you know, everybody, and this is going to be kind of like all over the place, but this is whatever. This is my brain. But, like, that triggers... play on words, but that triggers other thoughts for me as to like the school shootings and stuff.
Sure.
And everybody wants to talk about like, oh, gun laws, blah, 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 when it's just like, okay, but we're all kind of fucked up. Like, why are we not really looking more into making mental health care more accessible to the average American?
Sure.
Because we know, like, there are signs everywhere that people are messed up.
Yeah.
And we need help. Like, we can't afford to live here, most of us. Like, and the people that
And when you say here, you just mean on Earth.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
yeah.
I'm not even just talking about LA in general.
Everyone in
it's
general
trickling out.
struggles.
Like, California has managed to fuck up the rest of the world by making California, New York, after the
They
pandemic.
inflated the housing market, so
So
property
bad
is
that,
insane.
Yeah, so bad that people, like, the rent and stuff. My sister would have normally been able to just buy a house flat out, but she's in a rent to own program now. Thankfully, she can even do that, honestly. But like, that's the only way she's able to even buy a fucking house.
Yep.
And like, it's insane because even just like 6 years ago, she would have been able to just buy a house like flat out and just be making mortgage payments like that, you know?
School shooters need to be moved into the hospitals. They're already on their way out, right? And then on top of that, you got all the guys who are complacent about being sarcastic about people coming through or whatever. They'll be more on their toes.
Well, in general, I think the idea of allowing people to freely communicate like their negative thoughts without having to like bottle it in or feel vilified about not feeling positive about things or having a negative experience. It would be most helpful to try and help people focus their attention on getting to the root causes of things, as opposed to just putting the band-aids, like finding really fancy ways to throw shit at what's happened.
Well, and two, like, and here's the other thing, my friends that can afford therapy, most of them just end up getting prescribed a bunch of fucking medication, and I don't think the root of the problem has even been addressed at all. And I'm like, you're on all of these pills or whatever, and they're recalibrating your fucking meds, but like, are they talking to you about your trauma? Like, are you actually working through that? Because
If you're on enough pills, the pills will start talking to you about for all that stuff.
But the dissociation is a big problem. So,
which that also, dissociating like that is also, we have dehumanized each other. Like, we don't value life anymore because we're so individualistic, like, mindset, and people we've broken the family. Like, and the families that we're still sticking together are under attack. Black families, Mexican families, you know, like, just most of, like, just pretty much, you know, anybody who's not white, like, essentially, it's traditional
It's
to
very
just
fractured.
really, yeah. They're just picking those apart now. And so, like, I think when you can take people apart from their family like that, and you can look at your family and be like, yeah, we're family, but, like, fuck that guy. Like, I don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. And you can look at someone who's your blood like that. The likelihood of you caring about anybody who's not related to you drops significantly, I think. Like, if it's that easy, like, for you to just... And now, don't get me wrong, I do understand a lot of us do have toxic family members. But I'm also still, like, a firm believer that when it comes to, like, relationships, whether that be a friend, brother, sister, mother, what, like, relative, whatever type of relationship it is, I think it's, like, it's really important to understand that these people are human, too. And and even if we don't think that we're holding them on a pedestal, we definitely have, like, expectations of other people to live up to. And it's just like, oh, if you were a good person, you wouldn't be doing this. Or if you were my friend, or, like, you know, oh, a mom should, like, and it's like, yes, but also there needs to be some mercy and
give people
compassion.
cushion to make
And give
mistakes.
people the room to atone for that as well. And not just, like, we're so quick, like, it goes right hand in hand with cancel culture, where it's just like people, like, are so
This is a
quick
bad
to,
thing. Kill it, kill
yeah,
it, kill it.
like, to just cut people off. And it's just like, I don't really believe there are very much things, like, that are unforgivable, but that...
Speak on that.
I think we do have to make redemption culture like a prevalent thing in the zeitgeist, because if you throw away everybody that has, like, done something wrong or offended someone, then we'll have no one left.
Well, it's like it says in the Bible, you know, for all have sinned, for we've all sinned and
Yeah,
fallen short of the
exactly.
glory
So
of
it's
God.
just like-
And, like, and those are somebody's kids racing in the alley.
Which
Sounds like white joy. It's terrifying.
which is something, like, I found, it's basically government, governing systems, so systems in general. Like, in society, you're trying to find different people to fill different roles. Sometimes those people take those roles very seriously, and they kind of try and push themselves away from the interactive biologies that we experience. So they're just like, this is my specific thing that I contribute, and anything outside of that, got nothing for you. It's
Yeah.
like, but I mean, you haven't literally sat in a cave and only done that. Like,
Yeah.
can you help me reference? And you're involved in this. Can you help me, like, at least point me in a right direction?
Yeah. Well, you were going to say something?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. You seemed excited, and I think you forgot.
Yeah.
But
That's how you know it was a lie. Like, whatever it was going to be a lie.
What? My mom actually always tells me that. I'm like, oh, I forgot what I was gonna say, and she's like, well, must have been a lie. No, but dang, now I'm like, what was I gonna say? Oh my god, it must have been a fucking lie. No, but, like, just going back to, like, redemption culture too, is just like, do y'all really expect everyone who wasn't raised like you, didn't grow up in the environment that you were, and, like, and whatever the case may be, like, people don't really, like, understand what type of trauma, like, I don't believe that evil is just born. I believe it's created.
Yeah.
You know
Sure.
what I mean? And there are
Well, it's
only
it can at least be cultivated. So,
And
like,
that's what I was
whatever
gonna say.
shitty seed gets fucking planted with shittier things, it just gets worse.
But it's just like, so it's like, you know, it goes to the, like, nature versus nurture type argument or whatever, but we only have this one, like, our only perception of the world is our own. So the saying, oh, the world doesn't revolve around you, well, you know, actually your world kind of does. Like, you're never, as you can
We're
try
trying
to
to
be empathetic.
compromise our world with other people's worlds.
And it's like you're trying to be, like, empathetic and stuff, and you can, but you can never really perceive something firsthand. Like, like, as close as we are, like, as close as you guys are, as close as you guys are, you know, like you can never truly 100%
You didn't
really
do Corey
know.
and Darius yet.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Oh,
I thought you said
you guys,
two, us
you two,
two,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
us two.
and then she
What was
did
you
that.
two? It was like you guys as like a whole.
You and Corey aren't close? I've
Well,
seen
like
you
we
guys
are.
hang out.
Oh my God, Skylar, are
I'm
you
trying to plant seeds
right?
of distinction.
Oh my God,
Trying to plant seeds of distinction.
he's trying to
y'all.
create evil. No. No, but like, you know, like you still don't know like how that person is really like perceiving the world and how something truly genuinely felt. Like you can imagine, but you can't really understand that. So we think to be expecting people to just like, it's easy, like, and this I'll just like kind of like go into like when my car got stolen. My car got stolen in January.
Condolences.
Thank you. R.I.P. Good old Anakin Skywalker.
Oh.
Yeah, it looked like it's a black Kia Soul, so it looked like Darth Vader to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, dude.
Anyways, but when it got stolen, you know, most people are like, whoever fucking stole your car, I hope they fucking die. Like, or like some like crazy shit like that to me. And just my
That's what I
mindset,
was saying.
but my mindset is like, some people, their options, like I thankfully.
It's out of desperation usually.
Exactly. To me, what frustrated me more goes back again, full circle, to the systems that are put in place. We know LAPD is a fucking joke. The fact that it took me 4 days to report this shit stolen, I knew the cops weren't looking for it at that point. When I went in, he had the audacity to fucking tell me, oh, it's because, you know, ever since they started to defund the police. And I was like, you guys don't have the money to do your actual job, is what you're saying? Because you're spending money on militarizing, like, the police and terrorizing, like, and profiling people.
You're terrorizing neighborhoods while not protecting elementary
Anyone.
schools.
And even no, so that's
agree.
crazy because I was even when I was at the dentist, one of the dental assistants was telling me how someone kept breaking into his house and his neighbor's house. They called the cops. They all called the cops. And they called the cops a few times because they tried a few times. And so he finally called them again. He was like, look, I have registered guns in my house. So if someone comes again, and he's like, I have kids, like,
Yeah.
I'm protecting my family. At this point, we have called you. My neighbors have called you. I know my other neighbors have also called you. This has been an ongoing thing. If someone steps on my property in my house again, you're going to be answering a 911 call that someone got shot or someone's dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's shitty that it has to come to that. But then they had the nerve, then they were like, oh, why do you have so many guns?
Yeah,
and then they started asking him, oh, are you gang affiliated? Are you, and he was like this big Mexican dude, you know, and like he had like a thicker accent. So I know over the phone he was, they were like, oh, yeah,
yep.
as fuck. And they were like, oh, so why do you have so many guns? And he was like, I used to work security and I still have, like, I'm still good on, like, I still have all my papers and stuff. And I'm just kind of letting that.
Security
he's like,
have guns?
it depends on where you're working.
Only
security,
good security has guns.
God damn.
So,
Yeah.
I've
But you
come
could-
so close. I used to do a thing where I'd like mock assassinate security guards as you walk by or whatever when they're not facing you and stuff. And then like now thinking about it, that they were armed, that's terrifying.
I don't think the ones at the malls are like really like that, you know.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, but I guess it's just like your certification and stuff that makes it easier for you to like get, and it depends on where you're working security, because if you're working security at like, I don't know, I would imagine like people on like the lots and stuff, or if you're working security at like a jail or something or whatever, like.
I feel like pretty much all of what we've been touching on so far, I feel like sort of gives way and exacerbates the uncertainties of life that we all like ultimately face, because we're all like around the same age. Like Skylar, you on the cusp of like being 30, and so I guess my question for the group is just like, how do y'all respond or handle the like uncertainties of life?
Well,
Breakdown.
Ben, that's
That's fair. That's fair.
well. So a lot of my existence has been based on I really don't understand how any of this works. I had very like working poor parents, right? So I'm in a small town and they have steady jobs that they have to work 40 hours a week and they get whatever steady paycheck. I'm like, okay, so this is just existence. And then you go out in the world and the very first time I got overwhelmed with anything, I went to IMAX theater on a field trip, second grade. We saw the solar system. So we sat in the IMAX theater. The first thing I saw was the sun rise over the earth. I was like, oh my God, that's real.
Yeah.
So just learning to take the breaths and recognize that we do have our perspective. Like I saw that, I still have that memory. So like I can still comprehend how things work, how other people have shown me that things have worked. That's basically what we build this on. Like other people started doing this, we're trying to do this, but more. And it kind of turns out more gets really fucking extreme. So preparing and knowing that there's a chance for things to go terribly wrong. I joined the Air Force. They made me become security forces. So I signed an open contract to join the military.
They gave you a gun
Yes.
for security?
Yes.
Oh.
So joined the Air Force with the recruiter because that was the only way that someone was going to get me to like get a job. I wasn't going to, I didn't like filling out resumes. I didn't like the idea of other people judging me and my worth and whether I can fit into their environment. It's like, well, I got to figure out a way to exist. Like all I really want to do is exist. And people keep telling me like, nah, you got to make money. You know, worked shitty jobs. I worked under my parents. So my mom worked in a factory and my dad worked as a trucker. Like he would be a dispatcher. He worked the office job. So he would communicate with insane people, mostly. You gotta deal with truck drivers all the time.
Yeah.
So I got to experience all of that at ground level. I was like,
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah,
What
me too.
is poor to you? What is growing up poor to you? Because there's different like levels. So that's just like my question. Like, what did that mean to you? What did that look like? To just kind of like, was it like ramen noodles was like a regular? Was it like, you know, you had cool snacks and shit all the time? Or was it?
I don't think he had cool snacks because he was always at his friend's house.
oh, well, okay. So like we were I was the child of two of the youngest of very large families. So like they would embed everything. It was basically I was the spoiled child of spoiled children. So like, but because they had just regular labor jobs, so like you just kind of recognize the consistency of that. And as an only child, like we weren't struggling, but like they had to maintain. So like consider it like 50,000 a year.
Okay,
what
okay.
combined they would have probably kept bringing in.
Yeah.
So like
okay.
just being cognizantly aware of the need for continuous money.
Yeah.
Because my dad didn't get on salary until like till I was like 10, 15 or somewhere around in that age. So that's when I learned the concept of like, okay, there is a way to get paid outside of like you have to show up, punch a clock,
Yeah.
and get paid for the hour.
Okay, for sure.
So
What was your question?
When did your dad really take his 401k seriously?
I don't think he ever genuinely took it very seriously, but he did have one in like the 90s. So like during the boom, when everything was happening,
I have
was
a
able. Huh?
I have a follow-up question after
Sure.
this. What's a 401k?
I'm so dead.
It's just an
stab you?
addendum. So the company that you work with will help you set up a different, basically a safe hold for a percentage of your paycheck, and then that can compound interest over time. So it's like
What if you move from one company to another one?
I would imagine that you would
I
have
think
cash
you
it
can
out?
cash it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out of,
I
like,
think
a
that's how that
detriment?
works. Well, because, okay, so this is the only reason why I kind of know. So the lady that owns Salt and Straw used to work at Starbucks, and she had a 401k from them. So she cashed out there for, no, fuck Salt and Straw.
Oh yeah, fuck Salt and Straw.
I know you were dying to rip your shirt off, but please.
They are our
refrain.
first sponsor. It's our first brand that we've had on the podcast. None of us have
Yeah,
brands.
but it's still fuck Salt and Straw. I know I'm wearing the shirt, but it's a long convoluted.
It's
story.
folks
Yeah.
Salt and Straw until they start sponsoring us.
It's fuck Salt and Straw
No.
and the LAPD. That should be the new name.
Until we're sponsored by the LAPD.
Fuck Salt and Straw and the LAPD.
They're one and the same.
That's the
Yeah.
strongest stance I think I've ever heard him take.
But yeah, she cashed out her 401k from Starbucks to start the company.
Okay.
So I think once you like leave, like you do just
I mean,
because
fuck
it's
her,
essential-
but that's badass.
Yeah.
But still, fuck you, lady, whoever you are. But very badass what you did with that.
But yeah, Corey, continue.
Well, so in order to have dynamics and live a life, so people generally are trying to live a life. But in order to do that with other people, you have to like abide by specific rules.
Societal norms,
Yeah,
essentially.
and it's just kind of those rules have been decided by people who were born before us, and
Who were
started
just
writing
terrible
down.
Bro.
It's a selective few that has been incrementally being broadened over the last, I don't know, 60 years now, maybe 80, but like inclusivity in representation of different aspects of departments that we all cover. So it comes down to the specifics again, just interdepartmental communications. But because everyone tries to individualize the brand, it's harder to create specific guidelines for communication. Because one side wants to make all of the rules. They just decided, fuck it, we're going to write everything down. These are the policies. Everyone has to abide by this. And other people see those policies and they're like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
no. So you got to try and find the middle ground, which is inherently what we hope the judicial system accomplishes. It's like over time we can all agree, in specifically like human rights to abilities to, I don't know, have an abortion. Probably should be all right to choose what goes on biologically in your body.
Well, especially because most men aren't held responsible for children
Yeah.
that they have procreated anyways.
And insofar as if you want to have life be a part of this society, if you want this society to grow, you need the people to be capable to be stronger. So you should be able to finance healthcare system. That should be more of a priority of allowing your citizens to feel healthier about what they're going about and being able to like openly pursue a point of purpose. I feel like the concept of emotions gets lost in legislation because everyone has to agree on specific terms. You lose the emotional impact that people will invariably have. It's even just seeing it. So focusing attention on prosperous ways to get more individuals to be able to build more efficient ways to make the society better.
I'm kidding.
Seems to be ideal. Finding the right people, finding the right avenues that we can allow universal healthcare. We can all agree
Yeah.
that healthcare is probably important.
Yeah. And so here's the thing
Right.
with
Probably,
that, like kind of
yeah.
touching on that. I think like how long do people get to stay in Senate and House of Representatives? Way longer than they should be able to, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a term limit.
Only presidency, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Because how long have you been living this life that you're so detached from your actual community? You have no fucking idea
Yeah.
the
You're
community
not
that you're
necessarily
even
a
represent.
representative.
Exactly. You're not even representing.
Ocasio-Cortez has been there ever since I became a man. That's all that I know about the Senate.
I don't know if that's real or not because I don't know that much about
you know
the
her name?
Senate.
I forget her name. Something Cortez.
No, but like, and I don't know that it's so much as like the presidency where it's like you can only do the 2 terms or whatever, the 8 years, and then you're done for life. I think, yeah, if you want to come back, but you have to regroup. Like, you have to be off for like 4 years, live a regular ass life, and in that community. I think there should be more requirements of you actually living in the community, understanding what it's like to be there, so you can really see what they need to change, and you have the wherewithal that the average person doesn't to know what that needs and what that requires and what paperwork needs to be pushed, like what, you know, like programs need to be put in place, like for kids, for, you know, healthcare, for whatever other like facilities that the community is going to need, you know, like I think it's just people are just so detached from like what it means to like live a life. It's easy to look at other people as less than, or like, oh, it's obviously your choice. But as I was saying earlier too, some people, yes, everyone has a choice, but not everybody has the same A, B, C, and D options in their multiple
facts.
choice. Like if all your options are shitty, like you're gonna pick the one that's the most profitable.
Sure.
Because like, okay, like I'm fucked either way, so, and it's just like, yeah. And I've heard, I guess like the best, I was talking to someone the other day and we were talking about relationships and they were talking about like dating wealthier men, like they wanted to start dating wealthier men because it was like, if I'm going to be...
That was me.
It was you. If I'm going to be fucked over, I might as well be getting paid.
Sure.
Like, because if everyone's just shit, like, then, like, I'm going to be treated shitty regardless. I might as well be comfortable while I'm being treated shitty.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Like, it broke my heart a little bit because it's like, we really have come to that point, like, I think as a society as a whole. And, like, in
Just
general.
staring at that worst case scenario and being like, well, no matter if it's all shit, if it's all turtles all the way down, then I might as well find the shiniest turtle.
Bro. And that, yeah.
Is the turtle like used for shit? Like, is the word turtle used for shit?
No, that's an expression. I don't remember the exact reference I got it from, but turtles all the way down is just a point of phrase that I heard. It just kind of signifies it's just, you know, the tumbling down.
Yeah.
It's just shell on shell on shell.
It's so many layers to the human condition and just living, and most of it feels difficult, but I do feel like another thing that does make life a little bit hard, and we're about to veer into some deep territory, one of the things that can make life hard is addiction. And right now, for the sake of potting, I would like to know what are some of y'all's addictions?
Oh, well, I guess I can start off there. I finally honed it in on weed. I live in California. They do it recreationally. I finally get to smoke weed like a cigarette. So I've been surrounded by different variations of addiction. My dad was a pretty strong partying alcoholic. Because you're just kind of involved in bar culture. Work late nights. Because my dad was with a band and a motorcycle group.
Whoa, cool guy, watch out.
Yeah, small town roadie for a band and rode a motorcycle that weighed too fucking much. Weighed way more than him, and he had all of the leather, like because he got road rash
snappy
as
guy.
a kid. So
No.
Was he rich?
no,
We already
Never mind.
discussed this. Are you not paying attention?
told us
He
his
said he
yearly
got
income.
more.
He had that 401k though.
He said he never took it seriously.
he was rich in spirit. And in
Yes.
the spirits, like of liquor, like he found a lot of extra spirit there. So he would create a lot of interesting events, but it's not necessarily consistent. So you gotta learn how to deal with the bigger ebbs and flows that people go through. And especially, you get towards a point of that desperation. So there's just, with more things, their desperation in people tends to be prevalent. It's just like a feeling that most people tend to have. Because you just kind of, a lot of people get that crab in the bucket mentality in capitalism. And it's just like, trying to like climb our way to the top of this bucket, but like we're all like climbing over each other, like trying to.
Instead of making a crab ladder
Yeah. So.
and being like, hey, 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 all right,
Finding-
help me out.
So allowing the humanity of the emotions and feelings of it. I feel like the whole point of these avenues is to allow us to captivate more understanding of feelings. I'm a big proponent of music. I just listen to music a lot with my dad. Like, because we spent a lot of time in bars, I got to listen to a bunch of random live music play or just dance halls. I got to dance around, and I'm like 10 years old. So you just kind of get to experience the communal energy. Like, we're all, like, these random words conveyed in these set up, structured bars tend to make you feel a specific way. And it kind of interprets for everyone a little bit differently. But we all have.
So you're a lyrics person, or are you a music, like a rhythm,
Sonic.
like beat? Yeah.
So I tend to be around the presentation of lyrics.
Me
So
too.
as long as someone can perform the lyrics structurally and like meaningfully, like as long as they feel like they mean it, I can be involved. And it seems to point like a, or make some sort of point. And like,
Now here's my next question: do you lean towards sad music more because of it?
I guess, yeah. I go to
Because
melancholy
same.
lyrics. Yeah.
It's not sad, it's introspective. You know?
No, but like I'm just asking because I did read somewhere that there's two different types of people when it comes to music. They both like when people like music, you're either listening to it for the lyrics and you're actually listening to the words that they're saying,
Sure.
not so much like the sounds like and the music like behind it. And then there's people who like songs that that they're just
their
listening
atmospheres.
to, yeah, where like they're just listening to the whatever, like the bass, the drums, the snare,
sonics,
like whatever,
Sonics of it all.
For me, when it came to to sound wise, I always lean more towards like a violin or a piano. But also lyric wise, I always lean more to, as we were talking about last week, I was like a Kelly Clarkson, Amy Winehouse, like Adele, like
The
sad
powerhouse
shit. Yeah.
vocal power ballads.
Yeah, where it's just like, fuck these guys, or like, life is hard,
Yep.
but I'm not gonna give up. Like everything was like more like I needed it to make me feel like empowered. Like,
Sure.
Or like music makes you feel like you're not the only person that's ever had to deal with this, and it's gonna be okay. Like it makes you feel not alone.
Her addiction, guys. Fucking music much?
But here's the thing, Dad. But here's the thing. Like, I really haven't been. Maybe this is why I've been so depressed too. I really haven't been listening to music like that lately.
Cold turkey, you get it.
Yeah,
Respect.
cold turkey.
I like it.
No,
There's willpower.
but I know we're kind of talking. We're talking about addiction, and I kind of steered us off to a different.
Can evolve.
But it does stem from emotions.
But yeah,
music
so,
helps you reconcile those.
I just found it interesting that there's two different types of people, and that's why I was curious, like, because you've showed us a few songs, and I feel like most of them, because I am someone that listens to the words, lyrically felt like a similar, like, like there's a pattern.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, same with me. But I have friends, like one of my homegirls, she'll put a song on and she's like, oh girl, I have no idea what they're saying. I just like the beat.
You just want to bop
And that's
to
what
it.
she always says. She's just like, I just want to dance.
Ginger.
You already know. I just want to dance. I just like the beat. But like that is because dancing is more how
How they find their expression through it.
But that's also why I always enjoyed karaoke, because I think the lyric people enjoy karaoke, because for me it's something where it's just like, even if you can't, you can.
Yeah.
Like,
as long as you mean
you're
it.
just screaming at the top of your lungs, even if you're off key, like, and it's just a place where so many different, like, it's like a melting pot of musical taste. You're hearing like Creep 1 second, and then a completely different Creep, the next. Like, it's Radiohead and
Thank you for
TLC,
saying
you know what I
that.
mean?
Aw.
So it's just like,
Because when you said, that
differentiating
TLC just pops
that.
in my head.
I know, but that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like, you can hear both Creeps in one night. Well, hopefully you don't get followed by any. But, but no, yeah, like, and it's something that I enjoy, that, like, it brings people together, which I also kind of, I'm like, when people get, like, all weird about it, I'm like, for what? Like, it is harder in LA because, of course, here everyone is just a fucking excellent singer, and you're like, okay, this isn't like fun anymore.
Yeah,
like,
is
we
this a
can't-
competition?
Yeah, it's just like,
Am I actually getting judged for this?
It's like,
What are we
I'm
doing?
mediocre, but like I don't feel comfortable really going for it in front of this like audience, because they're definitely like, not good, and they're like 5 out of 10.
You good. You good.
No,
You got
but
that
it's
little
like
rasp
it's
to
like
your voice.
mediocre.
I like
But
it.
you know what I mean. When you're singing with people that actually like sing, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I remember sidetrack. Sorry, guys, tell me to shut the fuck up, please.
You good. We need
When
content.
Skylar's like, yes.
No. Like, legit, the more, just run that clock out.
I'm dead. Okay. No, but like the other day, I had gone to karaoke.
I do, kind of. I saw a light on there for Christmas lights, and it just kind of made me realize it's getting...
Yeah. Light us up. Oh, I also made an addition. I think you'll like it.
Look at that. He know where everything at too. Cool. No, but go ahead, Mo.
No, I went to karaoke the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I put these little lights
That
here
was
too. I was very excited about it.
The star joint is nice. Yeah.
What's your addictions, my guy?
I'm dead.
Oh no.
Getting big?
No, finish.
Oh,
Finish, yeah.
it is. That is.
So,
addiction.
want to double check, see if our cool guy camera is a little too cool for our faces now.
Right? No,
Darius, what's your PIN number?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Darius, what's your PIN number? The PIN number, Darius?
77777.
All right.
77777.
So, well,
Right.
it's the same
sorry.
time as before, and it was way too hot earlier. So worst case, it goes down a little bit, and then you just bump that up. Yeah.
but. Oh,
that's
okay. Okay.
true. I was about to take the sunglasses off.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
I was about to, but I'm like, I think it's
Do you
good.
want to check it real
No,
quick?
I think it's hot. I think it's good.
Are you sure?
I'm
We're
good.
all just gonna be sitting here in the.
It's killer. It's killing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's
Should we
straight
just
chiller.
keep asking you until you get up and do it?
It's straight chiller.
Are you
I went up.
Well, yeah, what? Because he doesn't have the code for the computer to see the screen.
Oh, the code for the computer. So you weren't joking. He wasn't
Yeah.
joking with you.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
It's
The joke was that he's recording
Yeah,
and we're
I
live.
know,
It's
but
hot.
he-
The
Very
Yeah.
mics
much
are
so
hot.
like a fight fire with fire type person. You
Yeah.
gotta tell me when you're
He
not
like
joking.
put it in,
man.
and he was like, you know what? Never mind.
Nah, you gotta just tell me, G.
It's weird because like this feels sticky, but it's not sticky. You know what I'm
What's
saying?
that?
Like it sounds like it is, but like when you actually touch it, it's
Oh
like
yeah, nah, we
not?
probably gonna have to take the glasses off.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. You're right. Shit. Hey, when you right, you're right. I'll cop to that.
How long has that been there?
Not that long.
Since the sun went down. you know.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do a quick one of these. Got it.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna put this guy right back, just like that.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna bump up the volume,
Bump up.
and then hit this button, and then one of these. Wait, no, I almost formatted the whole card. That's not good. We need to do one of these, and then a sneaky one of those.
Don't.
Oh, here. Put this inside for me, please.
Oh, we're pumped up.
We're good?
We're pumped up.
Oh, wait. Here. Thanks.
We're all back in business. Addictions.
Addictions.
You got them?
Yeah, don't we all? Is it money? Is it drugs? Is it I got something like that, right? I forgot that song. I'm embarrassed now. I was all talking about lyrics and I forget them all anyways. No, we were at karaoke the other day and this one girl, she goes to the karaoke host and she goes, "Did you lower the key?" But then when she gets on the mic and she's like, "I'm so embarrassed. I'm so shy. Like, I don't." I'm like, "Bitch, you asked for the key. You like." She actually like sang really well, but
Skylar,
kept
you
like
wanna
playing.
Push it back a bit.
You know, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Girl, you know you could sing.
If you
Stop
asking-
it. Just
If you
sing."
asking for the key.
Yeah, but it was
you
like,
tryna-
but it was like her way to get everyone to be more supportive and if she like messed it up. But I'm like, but I do understand that like sentiment, like of trying to do it in LA. Like you
Yeah.
want to set that like precedence, like, oh, I'm not that good, so that you're surprised by how good I actually am.
That's
Rather
right,
than me
yeah.
trying to compete with all of these good singers. Let me sprinkle a little sauce on it.
Yeah, it does add like a little flair to it as well.
But she definitely did over the top. But it was like, okay, she was a professional for sure. Anyways, addictions is what we were
But
talking
did you
about.
really even like say what yours is though? Like,
Oh, I've had many
Karaoke.
over
Hello.
the years.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Much obliged.
many over the years.
many addictions over there.
Skylar, how about you first? You've been a
Sonic
little
Trap, hentai.
Okay. That's it?
Yep.
So where you wrap it up?
I'm a purist when it comes to my addictions.
Okay.
That and the climb.
The what?
The journey, the just excelling in general, just generally excelling. You know, because like the climb, there's always gonna be another mountain. You know, like waiting on the other side. And I'm always gonna want to get there,
Okay, Miley.
but it's the climb. That
Yo,
I'm just addicted to it.
Yo, I feel like this is the perfect time for me to open up and just say like, I really don't like Miley Cyrus.
Oh
like
my
she
God.
is just the worst.
Well, she's
to me,
gone now.
dog.
She's not even around, right?
She died.
Well, she's
No.
just not.
Oh my God, guys, leave Miley out of this.
Yeah.
I just
Oh my
don't-
God. Oh, okay, fine. I'll talk about the problems I've had. Okay, we'll bring it back. Let's
All right,
bring it
yeah,
back.
bring it
Okay.
back. Let's bring it back because I was finna go on a whole.
Wait, why do you hate Miley? Why do you hate her?
Well, for the one obvious, that's not a surprise. I just feel like she is
As
a culture vulture.
I knew you
Oh,
were
of
gonna
course,
say
with
that.
the hip hop stuff.
I feel like she.
Was she even hip hop? She was just like pop. She was like,
But
who's the boy?
Here's the thing. She made a song talking about Jay-Z, like
And she
in the Jay-Z
then
song
she tried
was
to be
on.
like, who's that?
Yeah, then she tried to be all like, oh, I don't even listen to it. But it's just like, okay, but you made a #1 song and his name is in the song. And I don't
Yeah.
care if you didn't write it. It's just like, and then too, you using DJ Mustard beats, but you don't listen to hip hop.
Light?
Yeah.
What's that?
The ring light.
Ring light. Oh yeah.
But this I could go on like a whole hour on this. But yeah,
All right, so we will
not
later be
Miley
talking
Cyrus.
about apparently Miley Cyrus.
No,
He's
we
very
don't-
passionate.
That's
we don't have to
gonna
talk about
dedicated
that
the whole
later.
next up.
But it's just like if you're building your brand on the back of hip hop and it's helping you achieve a certain level of popularity with a certain audience that you may have otherwise not been able to reach, I just think that it would behoove you to show a little respect.
Here's my thing. Sometimes I feel like it might have been like one of those. Remember when Jessica Simpson had that show where she was embarrassingly
Miley Cyrus
stupid?
couldn't lace Jessica Simpson's boots. And
Can
this
I
is
finish
something
my
that we
point
know.
first?
All right, go ahead.
But do you remember the show, right? With her and
Jessica and Nick.
yeah, where she was
she had
like,
the
is
tuna
Newlyweds.
fish
this,
thing.
is this
Newlyweds.
yes? Is this chicken or tuna?
Yeah.
Is it chicken or tuna? She knew, but she's playing it up because she knows people
Yeah,
think she's
it's a
dumb.
reality show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're-
So sometimes I think there's certain celebrities that like do that, and it might have been one of those things where it was just a publicity thing where it's just like, what? Who's Jay-Z? I don't know who that is. You know, like chicken or fish? Is it chicken or fish?
Oh,
like,
you
it
felt
could
like
have
when
been
she
like,
said, "I don't even listen to Jay-Z." That was a slight.
Yes, I take it as disrespect.
Understood.
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. Would it be if her songs are? She's like a Disney star who's like an industry plant because her
And
dad
here's
is.
the thing. Fuck Jay-Z. It's more about hip hop, and just because Jay-Z is a representative of hip hop, and I just feel like hip hop is feeding damn near almost all genres in music right now, and then just to be like, oh, I don't listen to that or I don't know who that is. It's just like it's a slap in the face to a lot of people that have helped you ascend to where you're at right now.
yeah.
Just like you don't listen to hip hop, but DJ Mustard, you singing on DJ Mustard beats, and so it just didn't make sense to me. But anyway,
I always thought it was Muzzy on the beat, as in muslin.
oh yeah, what did that say?
No, we were talking. This is actually a serious conversation, guys. Get it together.
The next thing was Billy Ray Cyrus's ass video. Did you ever see that?
Oh my God, no, we were talking about addiction, guys.
Yes.
I'll run through some. I had a phase. I had a phase
Yeah.
for sure in my early 20s. When you think you're invincible, of course.
Yes.
Or you just don't know enough to realize how dangerous the shit that you're doing actually fucking is.
Sure.
I did a lot of Molly. Molly was probably actually my favorite drug, if I'm being completely honest. It was just one of those things which turned into doing, like, it started with, like, you know, like, I tried Oxy one time, had a severe allergic reaction to it, did not like it, like, woke up feeling like spiders were crawling inside of my skin and was like, what the fuck?
I mean, that is technically how the withdrawals work. So it numbs like the nerves a bit, so you don't feel that. So then when it wears off, then you gotta re-feel it.
Oh, it was the most insane feeling. I hated it. I hated it. Hated it. Perks, Xanny, you know, all that. Adderall. Adderall was probably recreationally like one of my favorite things because you're like, whoa, we can do this shit all night.
Sure.
And truthfully, like, honestly, I probably should have been on Adderall anyways. But back to healthcare, never had it. So that's kind of how I rationalized this shit to myself because I was like, you're supposed to be on this medication regardless. This is definitely not your dosage. Like, but how much harm could it do if they were going to do that harm to me anyways?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have drank as much with it because I definitely was like, you do this and then we go out for a night of drinking.
Yeah, cross chemistry tends to be the deviation that brings people down.
Oh, speaking of deviation, thank God nothing was deviated up here because I definitely dabbled in that as well.
Sure.
Did you get it?
You got it.
Yeah. But that was also just because I think cocaine is a waste of fucking money
Sure.
and
It's a hell of a
time.
drug.
here's my thing. It just makes you feel really hyper and really ramped up for about 10 to 15 minutes. And that's it. Me, I always use it to make my Molly high continue or to sober up before I fucking drove home wasted as fuck. Which is not like the amount of time. Alcohol was a big thing, and that was recently I've kind of like that lasted till my late 20s for sure. And it's not something to be like proud of or anything. I'm actually really like, I am blessed that I am still alive and never got a DUI or crashed, because people always see the super like drunk person and you're like, oh, that's an alcoholic, blah, blah, blah. What's scary and what I find to be a little bit more like, it feels like that's fucking dangerous for yourself, is when you are someone that can be drunk and the people around you can't fucking tell how drunk you actually are. Sure. They know you've been drinking and you're a little like feeling good, but they're like, oh no, she's fine. No one questions you fucking driving when you're that friend. No one's like, give me your keys, because you're not falling all over yourself.
They're looking at you like, hey, Ron.
Yeah, they're like, okay, well, someone has to take
Can you take my car?
Exactly. And it's always easier because you want to get home. You don't want to have to come back and get. And it's stupid shit that you say to rationalize it in your head. Like, oh, yeah, like, I can't leave my car here. I can't leave it in this lot overnight. Like, and you should have Ubered there in the first place. But granted, when I was getting most of the time this drunk, Uber wasn't really a thing in a small town. But cabs were. But it's something that's just like, oh, I don't need it, and blah, blah. Or you ended up driving home your friend that got drunker, which is like, bitch, if you drove here, you should not have been drinking that much.
Sure, right.
But it was just like, it's scary. It's a scary thing to think about, like, in hindsight, because I'm like, there are times that I don't even remember that I drove. But I drove, and people just fucking let me drive. People asked me to drive. And I'm like, the fact that I'm still here is literally a miracle. And the situations I've been, like, I remember one time I took some, like, I had been drinking all night. And, of course, I knew these guys. They had supplies, essentially. And that's another thing, is I always got the drugs for free. So I think the devil knew that I love a good sale.
Every girl of a certain age was getting drugs for free.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to, like, I would not have dropped that much money. Like, if it was going to come out of my pocket, like, I probably would have never had this whole little phase. Sure. Like, I might have done it a couple times to just experiment, but I was doing Molly like every weekend, like a couple times a weekend. I'm pretty sure there's holes in my brain. Well, like, I did some
you might
damage.
have missed that.
It was a solid
trend.
3 years of like just doing this. And it's crazy. I'm like, oh, why am I so depressed? And it's like, probably because you depleted all your fucking serotonin. Like, and you're just sad now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that is a thing that drives a lot of people to addiction. It's just like wanting to feel the most feelings.
And that's,
Well, because, okay, so
it was the only time I was happy.
It kind of comes back to dissociation. So because we all agree to work together, because the framework gets so big, so many people end up getting lost in it, because even though there is directions and there's departments available to help, those departments have very specific guidelines and very specific timelines, and they don't take into consideration the desperate person who's like in front of them and is like not even entirely sure about how they feel about dealing with feelings. Once you get into like a deep hole, you don't even want to deal with feelings. Most of them just kind of go entirely off the deep end. So allowing us all to be able to integrate understanding our feelings, and I guess the biological things, like because of the pill, I always stayed away from pills. Pills always freaked me out.
Thank the Lord that you did, because
because I might have been the masochist in me, but I wasn't really looking to not feel the pain. Just
No, I did. I was just like, I fucking hate this town. Like, I need to do something to take my mind off the fact that I'm miserable, just going in circles on this fucking hamster wheel. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone's getting to that point where they're getting married, they're having kids. I know this life isn't for me, but I don't know that I'm ready for the next step. I feel stuck in this black hole. I'm sick of these people. I feel like everyone is like, I don't know, you know when you just don't
you
fit
find
somewhere.
into it. Yep.
Because it's just the constant judgment for wanting to be myself. And that doesn't fit in the box of like, yes, there are things that I like from like, you know, like, I feel like I'm a socially acceptable weird.
Sure.
But the problem that comes with that is people like take the socially acceptable part of you, but they're like, we can only like deal with a weird behind closed doors.
And they
like,
they don't know how to understand
It's
or
just
deal
like,
with feelings
why
like
do
that.
why do you dress like that?
Yeah.
Like why are you always doing weird stuff like that? You're hyper, you're this, you're that, blah blah blah. You know, if you didn't talk so much, you'd be more attractive. I got that a lot, which is ridiculous. It was like, oh, Monica's hot until she opens her mouth, and then it's just like fucking downhill. And you're like, all right, cool, so fuck you guys. But just constantly hearing shit like that for like years and years and years, it does start to like weigh on you and makes you fucking miserable.
Yep.
I
So
picked that
miserable.
up myself without anybody telling me, and that's why I'm trying to be like the strong silent type one. I'm trying to be the strong silent one on the podcast.
Sure.
Yep.
What? The
I'm
strong.
trying to be attractive and stuff because this is all a ploy to pick up to sweep up with the honeys.
As long as they're like not teenagers. Please don't.
I think
At least 21.
we were talking about school shootings and
Don't go to the schools to shoot your shot.
exactly.
Yeah.
All I'm saying-
God.
In
Please
more
don't.
ways than one.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Oh my
guys,
God.
is I think that this is mature content, right? So nobody's supposed to be watching.
You're
this
not
thing.
sweeping the honeys yeah. But you know kids stay trying to watch things that they're not supposed to be watching anyways. No, but like, I don't know, just all that to go back to just kind of like, it's crazy when you do this shit as a woman too, because I have started to realize as I've gotten older just how much of a target I feel just by having a vagina.
Sure.
Like it's actually kind of unsettling. Like it's unsettling. Like I took Xanax one time and like thankfully like nothing happened, but like afterwards, I think that was the last time I ever took Xanax too, because I woke up and I was laying next to this dude that like I knew him through a friend, but I was just like I was like between the two of them, and I'm like thankfully like fully clothed. I was like nothing like felt like it had been
Moist.
used.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing was moist.
like nothing was moist or sore or anything. It's just like we all just kind of like passed out because we were all fucked up.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Thank
And
God for
because-
drugs, right?
Well, right?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about having a pussy.
That is
So, I mean, that's his
It's
perception.
vulnerable.
You gotta empower people.
Wait.
When I
no, it's
walk
just
by,
that word. I just learned that word the other day. That's why I'm dying, because I just learned what a pussy was.
Yeah, I'm like a week or two in.
There's a bunch of- there's a
terrible
pussy.
word. Terrible word.
there's all kinds of pussies.
Love to everyone.
How many words can we come up with? Let's go around. Tussie. All right, Corey.
God, no.
You gotta do two now because you gotta do Corey's.
Oh no, I tend to stay away
Alright,
from
pass.
like
You know, there's a thrussie too.
Yeah, I said that.
No,
You said tussy.
It's
I thought I
thrussie.
said- no,
That's your
really.
throat pussy.
yeah,
Your bussy is your butt pussy.
yeah.
Which I'm just like, it's just a butt. It's
Yeah.
not a pussy. That's not a pussy. Like
And we
scientifically.
say this with
Hey,
we say this with
like,
love.
There's like mechanically
No, I say that as
more.
someone that has a vagina. Like that is not.
Yeah,
a
you don't get to
vagina.
claim that responsibility until it bleeds. No, if
Oh!
it's bleeding, then you get to call it a bussy.
No.
So if you
Can we
have
edit
hemorrhoids,
this in post?
you have hemorrhoids,
It
then
just this is live, right?
We got really graphic, guys. But yeah, no, I don't know. That shit is so wild to me. Like, I think about it now, and now that it's over, like, you could just kind of like imagine, like, and even just sometimes I was just sitting in a room and everyone was just passing around a plate and with a straw and a couple lines on it, and we're just doing that. And like, I think about that now, and I even told him, and he was like, I can't picture you doing that. And I was like, that's because I'm a completely, not completely, like the core of who I am has always been the same.
Sure.
But I was definitely someone who was just happy for everyone else, but miserable behind closed doors.
Amplifying other people's happy while you deflected your own. Yeah. I think that happens a lot in addiction. I kind of brought this up because our mutual friend CJ Kelly, the one and only, I wanted to give a
CJ,
shout.
we love you.
He hit me up. I took a few tries. Try calling me like some random ass 4 a.m. or something.
On brand.
Yeah, he sent me a couple requests for Venmo for like $20. So I was like, yeah, sent him the money. And I finally got a hold of him. So he got kicked out of a treatment place that he was in because he was on like a government grant that presumed him to be under the care of some different jurisdiction. And they thought that he was going to be like double dipping.
I think we should save this story for the podcast that he's a guest on, you know, like, and then if he feels comfortable sharing that kind of stuff or whatever, then he probably.
I think we
should.
can go into more depth with like.
Okay, fair. So insofar as trying to navigate this system, it takes a lot, even for someone who wants to pull themselves out of a system. It takes a lot to navigate different places that will allow different circumstances and different insurance companies because it all got inflated to the point no one can even afford genuine regular health care under the provisions that we can just like give you a shot of antibiotics and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
No, that's going to cost like $100 without a copay.
Bro.
Probably like $200. And then if you wanted to do literally anything else, it's astronomical.
Essentially, all of it just comes back to the systems that are put in place are fucking broken. They do not work. They at least don't.
The prison's open.
They don't work for the average person. It's just like, and today, like, sometimes, like, I get to this, like, and that makes me really sad for CJ because it's just like, some people, like, they want that help. Like, and when these things have happened, like, to me personally, thankfully, like, I'm blessed to be surrounded by people that want to help. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You're able to find some sort of social network of people you can rely on to at least like take into consideration what you're going through.
yes. Like, I'm thankful for you guys, for my family that has been letting me stay here. You know what I mean? No, for real. Like, this isn't like just like nothing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It's all trying to help be better. That's kind of the
and even
point
with the
of
car stuff,
health.
and then like even just like my parents, thankfully, like, you know, like they send when they can and stuff. But like today, I was breaking down, and then I just think about like there's people that don't have people in their life to help and would have just had to continue to endure that pain and not get it fixed or go to the emergency room, because that was the other thing they
just
suggested.
even would have defiantly either way or like just not be allowed to. It's
And it's just like that shit makes me so sad.
Same.
So sad. Because it's like, yes, I am blessed and I am grateful that I am blessed to have people that can help me out. It sucks to not be able to be as self-sufficient and independent as we all like to think that like we can be. But it is nice to have people there to like help you pick up the slack, like to help you where you cannot
Motivate
help
you
yourself.
to move forward.
And then you just think like some people don't have that. And then I just kind of go into this like weird like okay bitch, but that's not happening to you. Like, so why are you crying about it? But like, do you get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like it sucks. And it's just like, but like you get to a point where you feel, and this goes back to like the uncertainty thing. It's just like, what can I do as a singular person who didn't finish college, who has no idea where even to fucking start to make things like different? And is it always going to be like this? Like, are we ever going to fix this as someone who can fix this? Like, and then what do we do? How do we
Kanye
rally?
fix it.
How do we rally people in order to like change the things? Like, because life is shitty for millennials.
Man.
We got fucked, guys. We got fucked.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true.
And like, because we were living under the generation that's like, oh, you work hard, and well, it's like Gen X was kind of like, oh, cool, whatever, like they're chilling, and they're at a solid enough point where they're pretty much established where they need to be established. And above them was the like, oh, if you work hard, like the American dream, you work hard and you can get the things that you want, the house, the kids, like whatever, like the job that like pays well and you can retire at a reasonable fucking age. But even just going to the grocery store, it makes me so sad to see people that are obviously over the age of 65 working at a fucking grocery store.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Because
I
they
feel like-
have to. Unless it's for fun and they clearly enjoy it and they want to work, that's a whole nother thing. And then it's just like, good for you. You're out here doing stuff. But there's some people that you can tell they're here because they have to be here.
Yeah.
So I think, so what I found through all of it is just trying to find different avenues that can allow people to focus on getting better. Because you can't really force it on people. People gotta want to be able to do it, and sometimes it takes people to the point where they can't even articulate that they want help.
Yep.
But like getting avenues where people can advocate, like I think that's a strong part of social media. I think it helps us create a network of caring. It just intertwines with the reciprocal emotions that people want to take those words and also find the flip of it. You have to take both sides into consideration. So finding that middle ground that allows people who are like struggling to get through to like be available around in different communities. I guess allowing the community to become more of a community as opposed to an industrial complex.
Yes.
Because we kind of so after basically we elaborated that the bubble burst. So like we found out like, hey, there is a cap to everything. Turns out we kind of fucked up here. So all of the extravagance got kind of splintered out. Everyone just kind of backed away for a little bit. And then re-established new rules. So just allowing the people who have fallen to the wayside to find places where they're not judged but allowed to build a sustainable, prosperous means of finding some genuine purpose. I think a lot of it is just kind of a lack of focus because you feel so despondent from everything. People are just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I think we all want to feel like we live in a purposeful life and like we're headed towards something good. And I feel like once that's lost, feel like
Flawless. Look at
your
this
need to want to exist kind of dissolves, fades away. But yeah, man, you wanna.
So hopefully this has served some sort of purpose. Hopefully this ended up on film and like we can find some way to make it a podcast for the audio since we lost half the video probably.
It's all right.
I do like the conversations
It's a
we
shot in
talked
the
about. I'm glad that we got to get together to have this
Probably the
conversation.
most important episode so far.
I hope you enjoyed the ride. If you actually made it to the end of this podcast, God bless. I don't know how you did it. You have a comment about it
I'm
somewhere.
dead. Oh my God, has it been that long?
You're related to one of us. If you
I'm
made it this far,
Yeah.
you're related to somebody up there.
Like,
So-
we can end on a higher note, just with something a little like a quick, all right, guys, I think we should all go around the table. What's your favorite chip?
Barbecue.
Okay, yeah.
Do something cute.
Oh,
and
Cool
light.
Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
Ranch.
Yeah,
Cool
I'm a
Ranch
Cool Ranch.
Doritos.
Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Cool Ranch. Okay.
Damn, I should have chocolate.
Oh my God, chocolate chip. He has to try to beat it. Well, technically that is a chip. So I will get you a bunch of bags of chocolate chips
Hell
since they're
yes.
your favorite.
Yeah.
For real, that's what this. I didn't know that this game had prizes. This is dope.
Milk or dark?
I should have said casino.
Casino chips?
Casino chips.
Oh
Just got
my
a fucking
God.
table full.
Babe, what's your favorite chip?
My favorite chip.
Tell the people.
Okay, my favorite chip. It's
Dang, for real?
it's a chip that
one on my
I
shoulder.
I haven't eaten it in a while. That chip.
He does love that chip.
That chip is so so
It
huge.
took him forever to get that chip.
Literally, yeah.
All right, guys, there's kids watching this.
That's the everlasting gobstopper.
It's like,
She's like, oh my God.
You're just over here licking on it.
How many layers does this chip have?
well,
I would imagine it has ridges too.
Yeah.
but,
You guys calm down.
Sorry.
but
There's teenage women watching this that I'm trying to look cool in front of. So
Oh.
Okay, let's calm
We're-
that down.
We're gog blocking
you guys-
Skylar.
we're editing that part out. We're
you
editing.
need to chill down.
All joke. All joke. All joke.
Oh God, what
Adult-
kind of
No
chip
way.
do you like?
Sure, there you go. That's
They're
Teenage
Sorry.
adult women watching this
my
right
God.
now.
No one under 30 should be watching this. That's first of all. But no, if I had to say favorite chip, I would say Wise cheese puffs. Wise cheese puffs is my favorite.
That's a chip. Puff?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheeto. You can consider
really?
Cheeto
Chocolate
puffs.
chips?
It has a chip in the name. It's not called a chip puff. It's not
Yeah,
called a
but
puff chip.
Cool Ranch Doritos doesn't have chip in the name, but it's a chip. It's Doritos chips.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Shit.
Yeah, see?
And you know what? I can see. But I'm gonna edit it out that I was wrong.
Oh yeah. Just
Oh,
not-
but won't edit out all the other inappropriate things that she
Nobody
probably.
got time for that.
But
Oh my God.
But yeah, no. Good heads up thinking on your part to end on
A high
a
note.
high note.
Just a cutesy,
Yeah,
like,
that was-
all right, we
that
brought you
was
down,
nice.
let's bring
That
you
was
back up.
nice. That was nice. All right, Court, you want to lead us out real quick?
So thanks everyone for hanging out with us in this little goodest group hangout. I got the munchies now, so we're gonna go see what kind of chips we can rustle up. Except for Monica, she's not gonna eat any chips for a day or two.
Soft
but
foods.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, and you're gonna make it, and this has been fun. So thank you very much. Yeah.